Hello everyone, welcome to my first Let's Play series. So I ran into a little audio trouble with my game, but no worries, I am here to jazz it up with a little epic voiceover action. Promise I'll have it fixed for the next video. So I started with the default Minecraft world and I set the game to hard mode. I mean it's really just a block game, so how hard can it really be? So I spawned in a birch forest, which is not all that bad. I'm not complaining about it because at least I'm not surrounded by cactus or a large body of water. So I quickly decided to take down a tree and get some stone tools before we start exploring this world. So as I'm getting some stone tools, let's discuss about our future plans. On the first day, I want to prioritize getting some food and at least 3 pieces of wool to skip the night. I don't want to be the bait for monsters all night long. So let's gather some tools and head straight out looking for food and wool. The first impression for this seed is that it's not at all bad. The Taiga biome is just adjacent to the spawn, which means we get better trees. Also, there is a hillside nearby, and if you guys know, the higher we go from sea level, the more abundant iron gets. So that's a good news. We can get iron from there instead of going deep into the caves. Okay, so then I found some brown mushrooms, which is great news because now we can make mushroom stew. I also see an azalea tree, which means there are lush caves underground. There are just so many good building block opportunities right at the spawn. It's a great seed, guys. And would you look at that? That's a dark oak forest. There are 3 forests very close by, right at the spawn, at the intersection of this river. There is a birch forest in which we spawned, there is a taiga biome, and now there is a dark oak forest. This entire area is actually very well connected through these water bodies, which is a really good news. We can set a spawn base near the water bodies, and in future if we get conduits, we can also set an underwater base, which I have not done anything like that before, but I don't mind trying it out. Parkour, parkour, parkour. After looking around for some time, I finally found my first white sheep. Two more sheeps, but one of them are brown and I don't have dye to convert it, so I guess it stays alive. This mushroom stew was actually a pretty good idea. I mean, who could have thought of that? I can also see a lot of skeletons lurking around here, so I'm just going to stay on these trees for as long as possible. I mean, I can do parkour much better than I did before, or not. These mushroom stews really came in clutch for me. See guys, my aim is not all that bad. I mean, it was just one time thing that I wasn't able to hit these chickens. After some more exploration, I finally found another sheep. I can finally make my bed and I can feel much more safer now that I can skip my night. Now that we have our bed, we can feel much more safer now. We can focus on gathering as much food as possible, and then tomorrow morning we can focus on setting up our starter base. So I'm going to set up my starter base on this hill. It's very well connected to the water bodies on all sides, and it lies directly in between the dark oak forest and the spruce forest. Uh, I can also set up a diving board here, which I think it will be really fun because it's a hill. We can dive down straight into the river. But as I have not done any mining yet, I'm just going to convert some of my wood into charcoal, so that at least I have some source of good fuel. And as it cooks, I'm just going to terraform this place a little bit to make it easy for me to set my base on it. And now I can also use dark oak wood for my starter base. I never thought I could have so much kinds of variety for building blocks. Unfortunately, I'm not such a good builder, but let's see what we can do with these kind of blocks. Now that I could cook my food in peace here, I made a double chest, stored all my items in it as I didn't want to lose them in case I die, and also set my spawn here. Finally, I get to eat some good food. Now I hadn't planned anything for the base yet, so I just decided to go with the fly and make a 5x5x5 cube, and let's just decorate it from outside and see how it goes. In the future builds, however, I might plan the block palette and the design beforehand, and it's much more fun to do everything in survival itself, but it also takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of time to build everything from scratch in survival, so at least the block palette can be decided in the creative mode in future. I added some overhangs to make this house look less cubey and a little more structurally stable. Then, out of this dense forest, a bloodthirsty zombie came to bite me. It's not fear that gripped me, it was the heightened sense of things. And of course, I emerged victorious! Let's go, guys! I won! I won! I won! Now, I didn't want the base to be all wood, so it was time to go mining for some building blocks. Luckily, there was a cave nearby, but it was quite small, so it worked very well to gather some stone. Once I had some decent building blocks, it was time to fill in the structure. Using cobblestone for texture not only made the base look so much better, it also saved me a lot of fuel, as I had to spend much less fuel on smelting cobblestone back into stone. Once the wall and the flooring was done, I decided to do the interior first. As I was going with the fly, I did a couple of iterations before I was satisfied with the design. This design looked cozy enough for now. We can always add some minor details later on. Once the interior looked decent enough, I decided to focus on the exterior. This overhang design was probably a very bad idea, and I decided to strip down this wood a little to make it more easy to work with. I then made a couple of iterations to the exterior. I tried to add more depth to the build, and it looked quite good at first, so I tried it on all sides, and it surprisingly didn't come out as good as I expected. So I had an idea of switching this upside down. So the overhang that I made it upside down, and I took a look. It looked more castle-y, and I tried doing it on all sides. So I'm quite satisfied with the castle look. It's not quite bad. It will do for a starter house, and now it just needs the roof done and maybe a bit more minor details. Let's see. We have got plants in this house, but let's just add a painting. Of course, this is a castle, so windows might not look good, but this painting does a job. It does a good job. I decided to make a diving board behind our base, but unfortunately my shift key was not working and I nearly died to fall damage. Anyways, this area actually looks quite good now. Although it might have been much quicker to have planned this build beforehand, but it was quite fun to do it on the fly as well. But this base is definitely not creeper and lightning proof yet. There was a close call when there was a thunderstorm, and I was scared that a lightning strike might burn down my roof, so I slept. And then just when I thought I could feel safe, a creeper snuck behind me, and although not much damage was done, the creeper exploded, but I had enough blocks to terraform this base build back to normal, and it's all good now. Alright guys, the starter house is done. Uh, we're going to expand this area in the next few episodes. For now it looks quite sturdy, it looks quite solid. The interior also looks quite good. We have got all our basic workbenches and enough storage for now. And most importantly, the diving board, which we can jump down straight into the river. Although it's not quite safe, we can die from fall damage. Did we just witness a murder? I didn't know foxes can eat salmons. Maybe I should watch more Animal Planet documentaries. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I know this episode had a lot of problems, but I'll fix those as soon as possible. Please leave down any suggestions you feel in the comments. I've played on this world for 9 days, so this progress took a long time. But here's the seed. If you want to play along with me, you are most welcome to. We can play together. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Minecraft red foxes are incredibly social omnivorous mammals. Having eaten all the sweet berries in Taiga, this red fox has no other choice but to wait for salmon to rise and devour them. Stupid little skeleton can't even film an animal documentary around here anymore. Oh.